Am I that early?
A minute or two.
Oh,
Yeah.
am I? My clock must be.
This is my second Rotary meeting of the day.
What'd you do?
I guested at Bethesda, Maryland this morning at 4:30 in the morning
Why?
to check on a speaker for purposes of maybe approaching him to speak to us.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
went well. It was interesting, except that I had to get up so early.
Yeah. Was it good?
Jeff.
Yeah, yeah.
Worth the effort?
Yes. Was that Trevor?
That's Tree Core.
Core. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
There's our Prez.
Running on our YouTube.
I forgot about the thing last night. How was it?
It was fun.
Good.
How'd the coffee go the other day?
I
Yes,
didn't
it
go on it.
tells you up in the corner. What?
Carol was asking how coffee went the other day.
We've missed it multiple times.
I think you missed on it a lot of times, Dave. You're right.
I see Dave F is joining, but I don't think that's the Dave F I live with.
Dave Freeman?
No, I don't think so.
Carol, how dare you say that we don't live together?
We haven't seen
Oh,
Dave.
we do, huh? Wow, that'll be different.
Where have you been,
Hello,
Dave?
everyone.
Hey, Paul.
Good.
Long time no see.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long time. It's been about a half a bottle.
Nice beard, Paul.
Thank you. I'm getting ready for the holidays so I can do the Santa Claus thing.
We want to see your beard, Dave.
My company can't afford the cameras on our computers.
Oh, man. You got to talk to the owner.
I should.
Dave,
Or maybe the assistant. Talk to the assistant.
Try your cell phone.
Hey, Friedel, where have you been?
It's been better days here at CR Print.
Yeah. The OA can't tell the story.
It's been
So
better.
Dave,
Yep.
if you had jobs, you would be printing, right?
Oh yeah, no, I have a full staff. We're trying to keep all our employees. Actually, we had to let go 2 yesterday, so we're still trying to keep as many as we can.
You weren't one of those, were you?
I'm pretty much getting close to the top of the list.
Hey, he only gets what's left over, not after you pay your employees.
Yeah. If there's anything left over.
Yeah.
Correct.
The
Yeah,
reason
one
I
of them
say
was
that-
one of them was with us 13 years.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. So hopefully they're just furloughed. We'll see if this thing turns around.
Yeah, it will. Within the next 5 years, they're saying.
Oh, Paul, you're really helpful. Thank you,
It's,
Paul.
no. Dave, for
How are you guys doing?
Good.
It's good to see all your faces.
I wish I could say the same.
Yeah, I know where I'm going to steal toilet paper now.
And paper towels.
Uh,
Jerry.
Hello there. Hello.
Hey, Jerry, we could have been twins. I almost put that Rotary shirt on.
I don't think he heard you.
Wait, I've got to adjust the volume on this.
Okay.
Hi, Mike.
Mikey, ready?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's good morning here.
Okay, what was the next?
Nashville, North Carolina.
By whom? I want to point fingers.
Which finger?
Who's being smart? Trevor.
Jerry.
Hello, Michael.
Hello, Jerry. How you doing?
I'm fine. How's your weather? More storms on the way?
Well, we'll probably be right in the middle of it next week. We're headed back to the beach on Monday, and it's supposed to be pretty lively that day. So we'll see. Where we're at, though, we get a storm like every day for about an hour, and lightning and thunder and torrential rain, and then it goes away and just keeps everything green. So
Is your
Well,
daughter with you, Mike?
No, she actually rented an apartment in Raleigh, Durham, and is looking for a house there, to move there.
Hi, Dr. Krieger.
Hello.
It'll be a little closer for Sunday dinners.
Yeah.
And Karen, how's the puppy doing?
Oh, God. Okay, well, you know those nice bears that we buy at the street fair for mammograms?
Yes.
She is systematically destroying one as we speak. Here's the stuffing that's coming
Yeah,
out little bit by little bit.
But that's an improvement. She's there today.
I'm sorry?
That's an improvement, though. She's there today.
Yeah, she is. I can't get anybody to watch her anymore, huh? But she's actually okay. And if I disappear quickly, you'll know there's a reason. But she, I would say on a scale of 1 to 100, she's probably down to about an 86, which is, we're trending in the right direction.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it is. She just gagged on one of the eyes from the teddy bear. That's fun. It's like having 5 toddlers in the house at one time.
Yeah.
Do you know how to do a Heimlich on a dog?
I absolutely do not. Do you?
I've got a plunger. Just
Yeah, I don't know. I was about ready
Gotta
to
be
do
the
it.
same principle. Go for below the breastbone and push.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was about ready to do that right before I got on here because she was choking. But anyway,
It's easier to just pluck those things first.
God knows what she eats.
Ian probably knows how to do a Heimlich on a dog, don't you, Ian? You're a
Yeah,
doctor.
actually, I do.
You're a doctor.
You put them on their side.
Really?
Yeah, you put them on the side and push on their ribs. That's kind of how you give them CPR as well.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what she was laying on her side when she was choking, and I was about ready to go down there and do
Yeah,
it.
but you really got to push, and you
Yeah.
may break ribs, and it's not
Yeah.
pleasant.
You probably break all the ribs.
And she'll probably bite. She'll probably bite me. She's good at that.
no mouth to mouth.
I don't suggest that. You
Mm.
got to really love your dog to want to keep him alive.
Well, it could go either way today. No, I don't mean that. I figured another year she's going to be the perfect dog. If I live that long,
I was going to add that for you.
there is that. Yes. Ay, ay, ay. Well, it seemed like a good idea at the time, Why don't you show your face, you little animal?
So Kyle must be expecting a lot of people.
No, I'm here. I'm expecting nobody.
Hi, Kyle.
We're
I
not
just saw a
expecting much
very
help
long,
either.
empty table.
Susan.
Yeah.
Hello, Susan.
Hey, Felix, you got to put a few more things up on the wall, buddy. There's space there.
Yeah, I see a couple inches up there.
Yeah.
Is that your garage, Trevor?
Trevor,
Yeah.
are you in the garage? Yeah.
Yeah. I got banished from the house.
Yeah, that's a smart lady.
Hmm. I think it looks neater than Dave's garage.
Everybody's so quiet.
Multitasking.
Yeah, we are today, huh?
Nothing going on.
No.
Not much.
I'm sitting here doing some ancestry stuff, and I've gone back 10 generations. I'm back to 1735,
Wow.
putting it all together. What a hassle. What a job.
Are you, Jerry, are you descended from royalty?
I must be. I mean, I would assume.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Safe,
one can
safe
only
assumption.
right.
My family, a lot of the family came from a village in Dorset County, England, a little town called Oakford, Fitzpaine. That's
So how many generations back did they arrive in America? When
what's
did your
the same-
family, when did your family arrive in America?
Just between 1950 and 1960.
No, too cute.
Oh.
And they sailed,
Oh,
they sailed from Europe
babies.
and came up the Mississippi River, which was interesting. And they disembarked right across the river from St. Louis, Missouri. They disembarked the town of Alton, Illinois.
Huh.
And that's the area they all settled.
Susan, is that number one?
Interesting, fascinating.
Pardon me?
Is that number 1 and number 5?
No, that is number 4 and number 5.
Ah,
That's her, she's holding her little sister. The older one is 2. My oldest granddaughter is 21 years old.
ah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
how come that
ancestry
is? You're only
thing.
39.
Yeah,
I know,
my
it's
family
crazy,
refuses
huh?
to acknowledge me.
Oh.
What is this? What is it, baby day?
Of course.
It's my great granddaughter.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Oh.
She's too cute for words. Abigail.
And
Mine-
where is she? Where?
She is in a suburb of Phoenix or Scottsdale called Casa Grande, I think,
Yeah.
with her parents.
Last night, I talked to my granddaughter in Phoenix, and she's about 35. And I said, was the train wreck anywhere near you? She said, what train wreck?
Oh.
You knew nothing about the monster.
So did anybody feel the earthquake this morning?
Yes,
Oh, two of them.
I felt both of them.
Yeah.
Didn't
Well,
feel a
that's-
thing.
I didn't feel a thing.
I woke up twice from that.
Yeah, so did I.
My dog felt it, but we didn't.
Wow. Were they both in the
that's
valley? They were
Hello,
both down in the
Bush.
valley?
Yeah, I think so. Hey, Michael, what's going on with your son in college?
He's still going. You know, he's going to Wisconsin. We're gonna send him. He doesn't know if he's got how many in-person classes he's got.
Now, is that on campus or off campus?
Here we go, Karen. Here you
He's
go.
on campus. He's gonna be in a dorm
Wow.
with one roommate.
Okay. Cool.
It's gonna be interesting.
Is he excited?
We're actually flying to Wisconsin on the 28th of August. We're gonna fly there. We're gonna be there for 4 days. We'll see how
I'm
it
not
goes.
jealous of traveling right now.
Yeah, we decided to fly first class just because I figured there'll be more space in first class than in coach. But it was just, and it wasn't that much more expensive actually to get a first class ticket. I'm not sure why, but maybe there aren't a lot of people flying right now.
So are they
But,
ventilating the air better in first class, or is it still coming from everywhere else?
Coming from everywhere else.
You're still in a tube, but they say that, you have less chance of getting it there on an airplane than, going shopping at the grocery store or somewhere else. So
True.
who the hell knows?
I can make up statistics too.
No, it is true, Trevor.
Is it?
Airlines are safer air quality than a shopping center. That is true.
It's true.
Which kind of is counterintuitive, but go figure.
Hello, Mr. Massey.
Hey,
Hi,
how are you
Dave.
guys? Hey, all right, Susan.
I'm
Do I
good.
see Jessica Sawyer on this?
I see her name.
I see your name.
The name's there.
Jessica,
It looks good.
Owner's
I'm
iPad.
here. I'm here.
Your
Believe it
name
or
looks
not, I'm
wonderful,
here.
Jessica.
You're screen sharing.
Oh,
I'm trying. I don't mean to do that. Stop sharing.
you got some cool stuff on your computer there.
Ah, that's interesting.
Thanks for the bank account info.
Oh, you're welcome. There's not a lot in there, I'll tell you that. Okay, there I am. Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi, how is everybody?
Peachy.
Rudy.
Owner's iPad.
Yeah, who's
No.
owner's iPad?
That's
the
a
owner.
funny name.
Owner's iPad.
Someone using the company iPad for the Rotary meeting.
Friedel or Chris Steele?
Adam.
Hello, Tim.
Adam.
Hello, hello. How's everyone?
Wonderful. How are you?
Jessica, are you going into your
Hanging
office
in there.
or work from home?
Are inside stores open?
Nope.
I'm working from home right now.
I figured.
I'm owner's iPad.
Oh, hi, Nancy.
I can't change it. I've tried. Trevor, I need help.
I know a good doctor.
The top right corner of your picture, those three dots, click on the three dots and it'll tell you that you can change your name. It says rename.
I see chat, meetings, and settings.
Yeah, the three dots.
Is the three dots like the three seashells?
Let's
Anybody
see.
get that? Trevor gets
Oh,
that reference.
okay.
Michael, I got that reference.
Hey, Trevor, how's the garage?
It's garaging.
Just don't start the car.
I was
Yeah.
very excited with the earthquakes this morning, so I have 2 couches stacked up on top of piano dollies next to my car. So I thought, oh, maybe I should pull my car out. But they're still standing.
Good.
That's good.
I thought maybe it was Jay Leno's garage.
I've been there.
I know. You auctioned it off, remember?
I did.
Not the garage trip.
How was it?
Who's today's speaker?
Victor Hayek.
Who?
Victor.
Oh, Victor Hayek. Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Still in
Oh,
the
good.
club?
In Darren.
So, Nancy, I'm gonna ask one other possible. If you go down the bottom at participants, and you get the whole participant list.
I think I got it.
You click on your
Yay,
name.
Nancy Wall, yay.
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 Is Victor still a member in this club?
Yes,
Okay.
he came back.
Cool.
Well, he was as of March.
Okay.
We can ask him in his questions that when he says, are there any questions we could ask?
I think that would be appropriate.
Oh, I think that would be nasty, but okay, go ahead, Karen.
I'm kidding.
Dave, no
Hey
longer.
there, Tim Weaver. How's your back?
Good. It's getting better, thank you.
Who's Dave no
Dave
longer?
no longer.
Probably Friedel.
Oh, Dave not missing in action. Okay.
Everybody's quiet.
Hi, Hater.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, hitter.
And Heather, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good, thanks. How are you doing?
Just hanging in there.
Yeah.
I don't have any other better I can't think of anything better to say. I'm kind of done with this.
Agreed.
Anybody
Heather?
missing vegetable medleys?
I'm gonna try your curbside service this afternoon.
Oh, good.
Heather Cousin.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Judy Lazar speaks so highly of it. I thought, okay, I'll give this a whirl because my
Yeah.
Kindle's acting up.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
What's the
Hey,
service?
Karen,
Heather's curbside.
Yeah, what, is Heather hawking books?
Yeah, a hamburger and a book.
Kinda.
Yeah. Yes, you can go
Well,
online
it's-
and you request the books you want, you review and what book do you want? And then they meet and they tell you it's ready a day or less later. You drive by and pick it up.
Hey, Danny.
Is that simple, right, Heather?
Yeah, pretty much. You get movies, books.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to just do books.
Hmm.
You can do the movies.
Are you allowed to serve alcohol with that, Heather?
If I don't see it, I don't know it.
Purchase a book.
What was that, Trevor?
I said only with purchase of a book.
If I don't see it, I don't know it.
Wow.
How are you doing, Nate?
Doing okay, Trevor.
I
I
like
was
the
thinking
background.
that
Nice.
I'm missing the three H's: hugs, high fives, and handshakes.
Nate, so is your background, are you coming or going there? It looks like heaven is opening up. I don't know.
No, that's my Northern Lights in Iceland.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
Wow.
close to heaven.
Yeah, I was.
Hello.
Hello.
Nate, did you take that picture?
I can give you a brief update on Herb. Herb has not lost his sense of humor despite the agony he's going through. He's sending us some funny emails. Hilarious.
Oh, I'm glad
Anyway, he
so
goes back to the doctor next Wednesday and hopefully we'll get a
so
good
we can send him
report.
an email, huh, Jerry? So Jerry, we can send him an email and he gets them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he reads his email and
His messages.
we talk about numerous issues.
Okay.
But it's good to hear his voice because his voice is
Yeah.
back strong.
Oh, good.
Good. Really happy to hear that.
I know.
He's been through the ringer.
Looking for KT Connor, but I don't see her on there.
Down the bottom.
There she is. Oh, look at that. Snake stuck in the back door.
I hope she's there. She's our fine master for the day.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh, am I?
You're beautiful today, KT. KT, you look absolutely beautiful.
I know you're prepared, KT. We've talked.
Can I get you another glass of Pinot Noir, KT?
Yes.
You're in for it now, KT.
Just a glass, Trevor.
No wine, just a glass?
KT, when I didn't see you on
about
the
no
screen, I thought
glass?
maybe you're out there fixing my lunch, but
No, we have no steak left.
yeah.
You know the rules, Jerry. You have to fix your own lunch.
Yeah, for crying out loud. What the heck?
Yeah, then he makes
no,
banana
wait.
milkshakes.
Oh, that
It's
sounds good.
Thursday. You're supposed to get a
He
choice.
does a great job.
It's either beef or chicken or beef, right? Because it's Thursday.
Hey, Jared,
Yeah.
can you do me a favor and go grab a bottle of wine and take it outside to KT, please? For me. Make sure you put a nice
Yes.
note from me.
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm also sitting here on this YouTube thing trying to figure out how it's supposed to work.
Oh, Dave has enough YouTube videos for us. You don't have to.
No, I'm watching all of us on YouTube.
Oh.
And it's weird because I see a screen with, multiple people on it. I don't see a speaker,
Chris, do you see the names of the people? Because we're trying to keep track of people who might be on that as opposed to this venue.
Well, yeah, I went on there. It looks like it's just me and David right now in the chat.
I see a screen with multiple people on
You can see everybody on it, like Karen, I see you, and I see Ian and Susan and Nancy and Jeff, Jerry, Carol. I see everybody on it.
Okay.
But I had to mute. I muted the
Right.
the audio from YouTube because it's not synced right.
No.
But I was trying to see if there was anybody else actually joined that way, and so far it's just me and David. Who's Robert Stevens?
I don't know.
Who made the smart aleck remark? Robert Stevens. Who's that?
There's
Well,
no
whoever-
Alex here.
Whoever it is, he's in our feed, the YouTube feed, and he wants to know how come women are allowed. Ooh.
Oh, that's got to be an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah.
Because the women do all the work.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So it's
They're very,
weird because I'm
very
watching two
appreciated.
different. Yeah. Well, I'm just watching two different screens now, so this is really kind of, now I feel schizophrenic.
Hi, Patricia.
Hi. Hi, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Hanging in there.
How's the new digs?
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I
Good.
love my new place. I haven't sold my ranch yet, so trying to get the word out.
Yeah.
Where are you now again? Patricia?
I just moved one street over from where I was. I'm in Rolling Oaks Estates.
Oh, Rolling Oaks. Okay.
Cattle Trail.
Yeah.
But I still have a 2.5 acre ranch I'd like to sell. Has a main house, guest house, horse corrals, stables. So if you know anybody, let me know.
Do you want to donate it to the order I used to belong to? Great to have them out here.
You could auction it for the club.
There you go.
Oh boy.
Hater, where's your cat at?
What?
Where's your cat at?
Cat
Oh, the cat is somewhere. I have my dog here.
Usually the cat likes to come up and stand in front of the camera.
Yeah, I know. I kicked her out.
We have an intimate group here today.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I have my video on today. Everybody just leaves. They don't want to be here.
Everybody saw that Trevor was actually showing himself and they all bailed out.
Yeah, this is a small group today.
I got 31.
Must be the
Maybe
joke
they-
contest driving him away.
Yes.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, Trevor,
Hi,
what you doing in the
Jonathan.
garage?
There are 50 pictures on.
Trevor, is that your office in the garage?
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting better.
It's the
Isn't it hot there,
5th Thursday of the
Trevor?
month. Maybe people thought we were dark and having fireside chats tonight.
Yes.
What?
Here we go.
We can't hear you, Laurel. Talk louder.
Are you trying to tell us
3-minute
something, Dave?
timer.
3
Hey,
minutes.
Jonathan Handler, how are you?
Hey, how about you, Trev?
I'm good. I got out riding this weekend. It was nice.
It's gonna be a little hot. We're gonna stay close to the beach.
You ever hear from those people?
Yeah, I heard from Art. We did about an hour's work for him and got him happy.
Good.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Appreciate the referral.
I see a car in the background. I see a car in the background.
You do.
Hi, Max. Hi, Max.
Do we all Happy New Year in 2.5 minutes?
Say hi.
And next.
Hi, Max.
I see a car.
Somebody's dog is playing with a squeaky toy.
Trevor, put away your squeaky toy.
Sorry.
Hey,
I was
Herb, I
hungry.
see your name. It's good to
That
see you
was my
there.
dog.
I'm there.
That was Trevor.
Hey, you sound good.
Oh, look, there's
Everybody say hi to Dave Friedel.
Hi, Dave Friedel.
Hi, Dave
Hello.
Friedel.
Dave.
Where the hell have you been?
MIA.
David Maxey.
Yes.
Hi, Jennifer.
I wouldn't call
Max.
it missing.
Real.
Who's
Oh,
Dave
yeah.
Friedel?
Hello, Karen. Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, Herb.
Herb.
Hey.
Herb.
Past President Goose.
Hi.
Herb.
Yeah, I'm trying to drag on. Just wanted to thank you guys. Say
Oh,
that,
so good to
yeah,
hear from you.
yeah, I'm still up and around.
It's great to hear you, Herb. It's great to hear that hear your voice, Herb.
What I did learn when I talked to him, go back.
Great to hear your voice, Herb.
Well, thanks. I don't know if I can get my screen going.
We can
You look-
see you.
You look cute like that, Herb.
Dave, your hair looks pretty good.
I can see
Oh, there you
David.
go. We can see you.
Can't get it cut.
Do you see yourself in my hair?
Yeah.
Oh, the reflection.
Actually, I saw the winning lotto numbers. Can you do that again?
Yeah. I'll rub it for good luck.
I think the Frito brothers should cut each other's hair, and I would like to see what that looks like.
Actually, my brother cut his hair, so mine's come up now.
He
Since
cut
he
his
cut it,
hair?
since he.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Glad you're here today. We have a great program lined up for you. Just a couple of tips for Zoom. One, please mute yourself if you're not talking. Number two, use the chat function. It's a great opportunity to really chat with other people that are in the meeting. And number three is if you do not have your video on, please go ahead and turn it on. We are also streaming live on YouTube. So far, we have a grand participant of 4 people watching so far, but it's streaming live and you can also chat over there, but it will not record your video. You will not be shown on the screen unless your video is on. So please go ahead and do that. When you get your email every week, you'll have 2 choices. You can either click on for the Zoom meeting, or you can click on for the YouTube meeting, or you can do like a couple of us are and have a screen going for Zoom and a screen going for YouTube. So hopefully you'll do that and check in. Well, it is the time again for that exciting round 2 of the joke contest. This week, Mr. Dryman lost on the coin toss, so he will be going first. Having heard some of his jokes last night at the social event that we had online, well, let's just say you're in for something. I'm not really quite sure what, but Mr. Dryman, lead us off with your best joke.
Well, I had it narrowed down to one of 3 and I did a coin flip, and this is the one that took it. So I want to die peacefully in my sleep like my grandfather did, not screaming in terror like my passengers in his car.
Okay, go ahead and tell your joke, Paul.
Yeah, really. That was it.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Massey, before we launch the poll, give us your best shot.
Dave, I'm reading a book about anti-gravity. It's impossible to put down.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Really? And I lost last week?
Is there a third
really,
option?
it makes you, don't you want to get back in, Ian? Okay, launching the poll. You got about 30 seconds. Vote for the winner who will move on. Unfortunately, we don't have a choice of neither one, so you have to vote for one.
Is there a write-in category?
I'm abstaining.
All
I
right.
refuse to participate in these shenanigans.
Wow, it looks like it's a pretty close contest. We're going to give it 10 more seconds. It's neck and neck. Whoa, 5, 4.
I don't see the contest.
2, 1. Okay, that is the end of the poll. Let's see what the results are. Let's see who is moving on to next week. Wow, Mr. Dryman is moving on to the next round.
Way to go, Paul.
David was dethroned. Wow, good job. All right, so
very close.
We'll take that off and we'll turn it over to Carol, who will give us the introduction of guests for the day.
I believe I've only seen one guest, and that's Mike Hebert, who's become such a familiar face now, maybe not a guest, but we're always happy to see you check in, Mike. Are there
Thank
any
you.
others I haven't spotted?
I feel I'm here so much you should bill me.
We will.
You're on. Okay,
Done. I'm happy to do so.
I have it recorded.
All right. Thank you, Carol. Let's go to inspirational moment and pledge with Heather.
Okay, so I chose a short inspirational moment, but I think it's a really good one. Something that I try and look at from time to time. It's by John Wooden. Never try to be better than someone else. Always learn from others and try to be the best that you can be. Success is the byproduct of that preparation. That's John Wooden. And now for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's go to our song. And today we are going to do a video. And hopefully it will play, actually, with the bandwidth that we have. So here we go. I will share this in one moment. Bandwidth.
No audio there, Dave.
Well, there you go. The video, it's not enough bandwidth. So that was a short song today. Sorry about that. Let's go to
Dave.
What's that?
You could sing for us.
I could, but then
Dave,
the 48 participants would be down to 5 within about 20 seconds. So, all right, let's go to the fine session with KT.
All right, now the RI president, Holger Knack, if those of you who read the bulletins saw the letter from him, he says that we need to embrace change. And he quotes Paul Harris, who says embracing change will strengthen us. So the question is, what kind of change? So I thought, well, what we need to do is look to the stars, and we look to the constellations. And that's why the advice we're going to get is from the horoscope. But we need to know who's in the horoscope. So Jason Corey, are you there?
Yep,
are you
I'm here.
muted?
Yeah.
Okay, Jason. Now we have a constellation, and you're going to be only charged if you lose $10, if you don't lose $20, because I haven't seen Bob's list of how much money people give in. So Cancer is the crab. And we have a member who has a birthday in that period. Is it Neil? Is it Kara? Or is it Hyder?
I didn't read the last update, unfortunately. Usually I look at the birth dates. I'll go with Hader.
Oh, that's too bad. So you get $20 fine. Kara on July 20th is the one we're talking about. So the advice she would be given.
Happy belated.
Pardon me?
Happy belated birthday to Kara.
Yeah. And if she wants the advice, here it is. Generally, most people feel automatically sure of what is reality. Therefore, to question your automatic responses is always an act of growth. So that's some advice they give us. Okay, the next one, Adam. Are you there?
I am here.
Good. Okay, Leo is the lion up there. Now, who is within that period of constellations? Is it David Massey, Mike Magnuson, or Andrea McClellan?
There's only one lion in that group. It's got to be Andrea.
Oh, that's too bad again. We're making a lot of money today.
Ouch.
$20. It's David Massey. And what kind of advice do the stars give you, David? Here you go. It will occur to you that an area you focused on seems devoid of juice. Move on. There are other things to squeeze. So you owe me one, David. Okay, Virgo is the maiden. Nate, are you there? Nate, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Are you all there? Is it Judy St. John under this period from August through September? Is it Sharon or is it Rich?
Say Rich.
My gosh, you're brilliant. It is Rich. His birthday is September 17th. And here's his advice, the advice to him from the stars. Reciprocal giving has its time and place. However, right now it's better to accept someone's care and then pay it forward to another. So that's pretty cool.
It is.
Okay, thank you. So you only owe $10, Nate. Kyle, are you still here?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, we've got Libra, which is the scales. And is this Dennis Wilson that's in this period, Ken Warner, or Carol Robinson?
I'm going to go with Carol.
Oh, poor Ken. Ken is the one. And he's September 28th. So his is coming up soon. Well, in 2 months. And here's the advice. You're safe to let whimsy have its rule. You can access what's possible later. Right now, let your imagination soar. How cool is that? All right, Bob Lewis, I'm asking you because you made me do this.
There you
Are
have
you there? Okay, under Scorpio, who's a scorpion? Who is it? Is it Paul Dryman, Norm Nagel, or Deborah Kniss?
I'm gonna go with Norm.
Oh, that's too bad. It's Paul Dryman, as you probably gathered today.
Almost doesn't count.
And Paul, here's your advice. You will be attracted to a subject appreciated by many and understood by few. You will learn how you are uniquely equipped to be among those few, should you choose to devote focus to it. Pretty good advice. All right, we've got Sagittarius. Jessica, are you here?
Yes, I am. I'm here.
Okay. Who do you think is under the Sagittarius sign? Is it Lee Ladd, Felix Massey, or Nancy Wall?
I think Felix.
Oh, too bad.
Oh,
It's
man.
Nancy. Her
That was my
birthday's
second choice.
November, 2 days after Thanksgiving this year. So here's the advice, Nancy. To stay on track, you have to consciously and constantly put your values up front. A ritual can help. And we know you know how to do that. Okay, the last one, Capricorn. Herb, do you want to try? Or you're not still here?
Oh, I'm here. And that's an easy one. Capricorn has got to be Oh. Okay, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. How about Susan Murata?
Oh, you are so brilliant. It is.
Well,
And Susan,
he's so
Susan, here's your advice. Don't fight against problems. Sink to the bottom of a problem as if it were a swimming pool. It won't take much to bounce off the bottom with your toes and resurface to a cleansing breath. How's that?
Yeah.
So a happy birthday to all those people when it comes around. And today, happy Thursday to everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, KT. Appreciate that. That was great. Let's go to the master of fun, our own Pat McCoy. Where is Pat?
I'm here. Can you hear
There
me?
Yes, you're good.
Okay. All right. We had some poker chips donated to us from a Rotarian whose name I'll leave unknown for now.
See them.
And I'll have Vanna here reach in and grab a chip.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hello, Vanna.
You know what? She just got here. At first, I thought I was going to say she had to take a hike. And she literally just got back from Wildwood. That's why she's got that hat on.
Okay, today's winner is?
Okay, Alain.
Whoop, Pat, you're muted.
It's Alain Roberts, and she's not here.
Oh, wow. We are rolling over to another week.
I know. I think we're up to $15 now.
$15. Woo!
$15. You can definitely get a Happy Meal for $15 now. So next week, maybe we'll get a winner.
Next week.
Winner chicken dinner. We have not had one yet. All right. Thank you, Pat and Vanna.
All right.
All right. That's great. We're going to go to announcements now. First off, I would really like to say hello to Mr. Dave Frieda. We are glad to have you back in the house. That's fantastic. So welcome back. And we are particularly glad to see our past president, Herb, back online and back in the group. So Herb, I'm sure you would like to just say hello. So welcome. We're so happy to see you in the group again.
Thank you, Dave. I appreciate that. And I appreciate the cards and calls and all sorts of stuff that several members have sent. It really does mean a lot. And I'm hoping have turned a corner. I'm going to start to get better. I'll be up and dancing very slowly. I am hoping in another couple of weeks, but this is really the first chance I've had to be able to actually get up in front of a computer screen and all that. And so I'm delighted. Thanks so much to Karen and Dave for finishing up my year for me. And you'll hear more from me because we'll have a little bit of time so I can express some thanks to those that have been so good in finishing up the year. And, I'm absolutely delighted. Things are going well. And, after 8 weeks, get me out of here. Get me out of here. Thanks again.
All right, Herb. Great to see you. All right. We have a couple of other announcements. I'm going to turn it over to Ian right now to give us some, I think he has some awards to hand out.
I do. We have a number of people that have been generous enough to become Paul Harris Fellows, and we have some major donors as well, which the major donors will be announced when the district governor attends the meeting. But as you all know, and I'll repeat anyone, so I apologize, or if I'm repeating stuff you already know, I apologize. But a Paul Harris fellow is someone, or the award goes to someone who's donated $1,000 to to Rotary International. And with that being said, let's just get underway. So Paul Harris plus ones, we have Kyle Lundberg, Michael Teasdale, and Fred Lindbergh. So well done. Your pins will be mailed to you. We have Paul Harris plus two, Maria Prescott and Crystal Doyle. Well done, you guys. And then plus three, we have Mike Jansen and Mark Sellers. So very generous, awesome. Thank you all very much. And your pins will be mailed to you. And the remaining awards will be given out when the district governor comes toward the end of next month. So make sure you attend the meeting so you can either claim your award or get to see who it is.
Great, thank you, Ian, and thanks to all those who participate through Paul Harris Fellow. That is a very significant thing for our club. It makes a world of difference when you fund these kinds of activities, and so thank you for your generosity. Well deserved. Now I'd like to turn it over to Dave Massey, who has a couple of announcements. So Dave.
Thank you, Dave. So one of the huge challenges, I'm the director of community service this year, and as you can guess, the traditional things that we do in community service, which is both our fundraising through Street Fair, the Wine Fest, and the Chili Cook-Off, have all been wiped out by COVID these years, and so we're really trying to be creative in what we can do in that. But there's also things that we do in the way of the blood drive and the military shows and stuff that we're getting out as Rotarians and doing things for the community. And that's also limited. So what we've been trying to do as a board is to be more creative in ways that we can help our community because they need help. And that we can also be active as people, as Rotarians, because just sitting at home in our world doesn't let us be the people of action that Rotarians are. So I wanted to give you a couple of projects that we're doing as a club that you can be involved with, how you can get involved, and acknowledging some people that have already been involved with this. And so I'm going to give you guys a PowerPoint right now. Pardon me for a second while I bring this up. But we've got 4 areas that we are doing that we've got stuff to do in. And hold on a second here. Thank you. Okay, so this is the question here: is how can we help during COVID? And so we've got to be able to find a way to be doing it safely for all those people involved. So here's the 4 projects we've kind of got going right now. We've got a baby gear project. We're working with Senior Concerns. We've got eBay auctions, and one of our big projects here, which is the James Story House. Let me start off with the baby gear. What we're doing is helping out the Ventura County Rescue Mission. They have a project called the Lighthouse Project that deals with mothers who are out of their homes, that are in transition right now. There's often women that have the substance abuse may be there, or physical violence might be there by a partner, and their kids don't have much. And so Jessica Sawyer, Sawyer Rubenstein, has been wonderful, brought this project to us. And what we're doing, what she's done, and what we're looking for to expand with the rest of the club, is that she has friends that are that have baby gear, cribs, strollers, all things that we call them big plastic things when I had young children. Well, these people aren't using them anymore, but they wanted this to go to somebody. And so these are actually we're taking these gears that are in good condition and giving them directly to mothers who have young children so that they can have these items to care for their kids. This isn't going to a store to be sold for the charity. It's going directly to this. So one, thank you, Jessica, so much for bringing this project to us. How can you help? All right. Well, first off, Jessica was driving all over the Conejo Valley to pick up items that people who said that they were willing to donate. These were individuals that were just part of her Facebook group that were willing to provide items, and she was doing all the driving. So it's helping her pick these items up from people and then ultimately deliver them over to the rescue mission So we kind of need people to help pick up and help drivers help maybe store that stuff for a little while and then get it over the rescue mission. This is a shot of Jessica and the woman from the rescue mission, her husband. This is not what Jessica's garage typically looks like, I'm told. This is after it was filled up with all kinds of gear that was then delivered. So we really appreciate the help that you guys can give in this. And in any of these projects, contact me or the person that I'm mentioning that is kind of heading it, and let's get you involved. The next one is I sent an email out for senior concerns. The senior concerns needs drivers for Meals on Wheels, and many of you have already been doing this. Just a couple people that told me they'd been doing it was Lee Ladd, Tanya, and Michelle, and Darren's daughter signed up to do this. So this is just delivering meals on a weekly basis out to seniors. You pick the day. There's a couple of time frames you can do it in. You have to pass a security check just to make sure that Senior Concerns knows good people are doing it. And then this is an opportunity for you to do it. Let them know that you're from Thousand Oaks Rotary and you're doing it, but it's a great way to help out those seniors. So go to the Senior Concerns website, sign up with them. Let's have Rotary have a big impact on those seniors. The second one that we're doing is we want to have a collection that seniors really need for these isolated seniors. They have non-perishable items that they need that they're low on, that they don't get. And so what I want to do is, how can we help? Well, I'd like to see our club, and I'll send a list out for this. Sharon Russell is doing this. She needs a couple people to help her on her committee. So I'm looking for people who can help Sharon. And then I'm looking for people who are willing to donate the items. And we'll send a list out. Sharon will send a list out of all those items. Or if they want to make a cash donation, that's fine. And then we want to collect these items up and bring them over to Senior Concerns and let them know this is from Thousand Oaks Rotary, to help out those seniors that just aren't able to get the type of non-perishable items, cleaning stuff that they need. So, all right, the next project is one that fundraising is so challenging right now because we can't do events that are in person. And that is our 3 main fundraisers were all about in person. So I was cleaning my garage out and I thought this is a good way. My wife and I were getting rid of stuff when we were selling it on Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace. And this was a good way for us to kind of get rid of some of the stuff that was in our garage. And I thought this is a good fundraiser for Rotary. So I don't want to limit it. I'm calling it eBay auctions, but I don't want to limit it to just eBay. I've got Monica and Karen Fernari that are working on this, but I'd like some other people. If you've ever if you've bought on Craigslist or bought on Facebook Marketplace or the Next Door Neighbor app, think about that. We've got members that are willing to donate stuff. Some of the larger items probably need to be sold locally, but what we want to do is have all our proceeds go back to the club so that we can give directly to charities. So what am I looking for? Well, I'm looking up for people to help sell stuff and to help collect things for the individuals. We want items of value. This is not your chance to get rid of small items in a garage sale type of thing, but we've had many people that have been interested in giving. I need some people to step up and help with this. If we spread the work out a little bit, this will be a good fundraiser. And we may raise a couple of $1,000 from doing this. Right now, we're not raising a lot. So let's find a way that we can do this in a safe environment. The last one, I'm just going to premiere a little bit here because we're going to have a bigger presentation on this. The James Storehouse that deals with foster kids in Ventura County. Michael Jensen and his group for the International Committee has done a huge grant for about $19K. And what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be helping these kids that have been in foster transition into adulthood by helping them set up their apartments. We've got money to buy furniture and items for them. We've got money to get kitchen and bathroom kits for them. So we're helping them set up into adulthood with physical items. And we've got money set aside. We need people to help purchase those items. Deborah is the one that's leading this. We're going to make a bigger presentation later. But the other thing we're also going to do is potentially have a mentoring program that we can help some of these foster kids that are transitioning into adulthood, be able to guide them and get the advice that parents typically would have given, but help them in areas of finance, housing, if there's any sort of kind of legal aspects, things to help them make good decisions as they move forward in their lives. So these are the areas that we're going to be kind of working on when it comes to community service. They're not our traditional areas, but they're helping our community. And so if any of these interest you at any particular level, let me know or the people who are in charge of that committee, and I would absolutely love to do that, because as Rotarians, we need to get out and do things. We need to serve our community. That's us. And the reward of even doing just a little is so much. So I encourage you to get involved. Let me know how I can help you get involved. And thank you.
Thank you, David. Appreciate your leadership in working on that. And thanks to Jessica and Sharon and Monica. Karen is involved, Deborah, for really taking a leadership role in all those projects and making a difference in our community. This is the year we're going to be and have to be creative. So we are open to all ideas and all ways that we can reach out and serve our local community. As all of you know, because you're very involved in the community, we've got a lot of people hurting in our community. And this is where Rotary steps into the gap and really makes a difference in the lives of people. And these are just 4 projects that can really, with some very simple steps and a little bit of time, make a huge difference for a lot of people in our community. So thanks to all those that are involved and for your continuing efforts. Next, we're going to go to a new item, and I'm going to have Susan come up here in just a second and talk. But one of the ways that we're looking to raise some funds for the annual fund share is to do our online auction here at our club of items. So Susan is going to talk a little bit about this, but this is money that we want to raise for the Rotary Foundation annual fund share. And that fund is the primary focus of funding for just a broad range of the local and international Rotary Foundation activities. So you say, well, why is that important to us? Why should we care about that? Seems so remote, seems so far away. Well, through the share system, the money that's contributed to the annual fund is literally shared with Rotary clubs like ours and to our District 5240. And quite frankly, I mean, it's the lifeblood of what we do, and we could not accomplish half of what we do as a club without the annual fund share program at Rotary International Foundation. So why is that? How does that work? Well, at the end of every Rotary year, contributions to the annual fund from all clubs in our district, which is 5240, are directed into 2 separate international funds. One, 50% of that money goes to the World Fund, and 50% of the money goes to district designated funds. And this is really critical to all of our clubs, particularly ours, for 3 very important reasons. First of all, the RI World Fund, a portion of these monies pay for our global grants. Now, so when you purchase a Paul Harris Fellow, as Ian was talking about earlier, you typically will put in $600, our club puts in $500, and you're credited with $1,000 to the Rotary International Foundation. And that money coming from the World Fund is given to our District 5240. Our district then takes that money and puts it into our club and into our other projects. So we leverage the money several times over. It allows us to fund these projects such as the hearing aid project in Mexico, the planetarium for the kids in Tijuana, healthcare to the impoverished in India. It provided a free dental clinic here in our own local community when we were the first club in our district to ever write a reversed global grant. So that money, for every dollar we put in, I mean, we probably get back $3, $4, $5, which means that we can do projects that we could never do on our own just as a club. The second important component of that is the district designated fund. So RI takes that money that we each give to the annual fund every year, and 50% of that goes to our district and every other district in the world. And then our district matches us dollar for dollar on money that our club puts in. on these district designated grants. So this year, the James Storehouse project, for example, the district is paying us every dollar for every dollar we put into that project. So it's doubling our money in a short period of time. There's no investment, I don't think, that you could ever get that kind of return. So what does that allow us to do? Well, we put project money into senior concerns. We put it into Conejo Hospice. We're doing it for the James Storehouse program and just many, many local projects. Again, that is critical for us because it's really allowing us to leverage every dollar that all of you put into the annual fund every year. And the third thing is it's based on an average. So every 3 years, the money is average. So the more money we put into the annual fund, the more money we get back. And our club for the last several years, I'm proud to say, has been the #1 recipient of the district designated fund allocation coming from our district. And that's because of your generosity, because you see the value of making a contribution to Rotary International and seeing that money come back into our community for projects that we can now help to all the local groups that we support throughout our community. So this program that Susan's going to talk about in a minute is one of the ways that we're going to help fund the annual fund share to make sure that we're getting more money back from our district. We want to stay #1 because it makes a huge difference to our community. So when Ian comes to you soon and he says, I want you to be a participant of every Rotarian every year, know that this is the fundraising effort that's designed to encourage each of us to support Rotary International's Foundation Annual Fund. So whatever level you can participate, whether that's $1 or whether that's $1,000 or somewhere in between, it makes a huge difference. You double, triple our money on projects that we do in our community. So I'm going to turn it over to Susan to explain a little bit how the auction works, and let's have a little bit of fun. So Susan.
Thanks, David. Okay, so this is different than what we're doing with selling products on eBay and that type of thing. The eBay project is, you're cleaning out your garage and you're getting rid of some things. What we want you to do on this, we're asking Rotarians to donate an item that periodically we will do these online auctions. Today we just have one item which was donated by our president, David. I'm not going to butcher this, the name of this one. It's a French wine. It's a 2012. And let me just read a couple of things that the winemaker talks about this wine. A medium ruby red color. The elegant bouquet opens with notes of wild roses, plums, and a variety of red fruits, underlined by intriguing scents of sandalwood, myrrh, and delicate hints of clove. Full-bodied, yet delicate and round with a fresh acidity and savory finish that lingers on the palate. I don't know about you, but my mouth is watering right now. They say this wine is produced only in the very best years when the climate brings optimum growing condition to the vines, permitting the grapes to express all the complexity of the land. So I don't know if you're a wine connoisseur or not, but this is your opportunity, if you're not, to try an incredible bottle of wine. And while you're doing that, we are raising money to go to the annual fund. So like I said, this is the first item. I'll be reaching out to people to see if you have something else you'd like to donate that we can auction next time. Maybe your favorite restaurant. Maybe when things open up again and we have shows at the Civic Arts Plaza, we can auction off tickets and that type of thing. And all of the money is going to this annual fund, which eventually comes right back to our club so we can do so many good things in this community. So that being said, If you're gonna, I know my husband and I are making steaks this Friday. We're gonna broil some steaks. This wine would go fabulous with that. So let's start the bidding. We're gonna do this by voice, so you'll have to unmute yourself. I was gonna try to do it by the chat screen, but I think it'll be funner if we try to do this live. If you'd like to bid, unmute yourself. I'll recognize the first person I see, and
Hey,
then we'll
Susan,
move on.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are you offering to barbecue us steaks with this bottle of wine on Friday?
Oh, no, no.
Oh.
Heavens no. But I'm just saying it's a fabulous bottle of wine, and it's like I said, my mouth was watering when I was reading this. So it retails for $95. So let's start the bidding at $30. Do I have a bid for $30 for this fabulous bottle of wine? Just
I'll
unmute
bid
yourself.
30.
Yes.
Okay, Kyle.
50.
Oh, who's that?
KT has 50.
KT,
This is-
$50.
This is Chris, 75.
Chris, let's see, you're doing all my work for me. We have a bid of 75 for this fabulous bottle. Do I hear 80? We have a bid of $75. Do I hear $80?
I'll do 80.
Kyle, 80. Awesome. That's a bargain. That's a bargain. And remember, you're not just getting the bottle of wine, you are donating to the annual fund at the same time. So it's going to a good cause. So we have a bid of 80. Do I hear 90?
Yes.
90. Oh, KT,
KT.
bless your heart. KT, $90. We have
Okay,
a bid of
Chris says
90.
100.
Oh, Chris Steele. You're a
101.
You're KT 101. Do we have a higher bid? 105, 105. We have a bid of $101 from KT Connor. Do I hear a bid of 105? Going to the annual fund. It's coming back to this club.
I'll make it 105.
You outbid yourself, KT. We have a bid of 105. Do we have 110?
I'll do 110.
Oh, Kyle, you're
That's Ian.
Oh, Ian, I'm sorry, Ian.
But Kyle can pay for it, but I'll drink it.
Ian, bless your heart. 110. You're a smart man.
Okay, can you bring it when I come to your office?
Sure.
Ian?
I'll have everyone gargle with it before.
We have a bid from Ian for 110. Do I hear 115? We have a bid from Ian for 110. Do I hear 115?
115.
Oh, KT, you're such a sweetie.
Would you tell Jerry?
We have a bid from KT Connor for $115 going right to the annual fund, and she's getting a kick butt bottle of wine. 115. Do I hear 120?
I'll do 120.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
Ian, that's awesome. All right, KT.
Well, he needs it for gargling. Okay.
We have a bid of 120. Do I hear a bid of 125? Ian's bid 120. 125.
Ooh,
Oh,
Felix.
Hey, all right, a new bidder in.
nice. Felix Massey. Wonderful. So we have a bid of 125 for this incredible bottle of wine. Well, Felix Massey, 125. Do I hear a bid of 130? 130. It's a fabulous bottle of wine.
I'll do 130.
Oh, Ian.
All right.
Awesome, Ian. We have a bid of 130 from Ian.
I can't wait for my next dental appointment with Ian.
We have a bid of 130. Do I hear a bid of 135? 135.
This is a tax deduction, right?
Yeah.
Go to the annual fund. We have a bid
Okay,
of
135.
Oh, KT.
Susan,
Yes.
150.
Oh,
All right.
Felix, you're a doll, Felix. 150.
Okay.
That's incredible. Felix Massey's bid 150. Do we have a bid of 155? We have a bid of 150 for this incredible 2012 bottle of wine.
You know, Felix, you just made Dave work another 5 years.
We have a bid of 150. Do we have a bid of 155? Former District Governor Felix Massey bid 150. 150 going once. We're looking for a bid of 155. 150 going twice.
Okay, 155.
Way to go, KT. Way to go. Way to go. All right, KT's at 155. Do I have a bid of 160?
No.
Come on, Felix, give in to the peer pressure. Keep spending Dave's money.
We have a bid of 155. Do we have a bid of
All right.
160?
This is it. 175.
175.
Like it.
Wow, that's incredible, Felix.
Your
Thank you
your
so
son
much.
was
Yeah, good
crunching
for
and
you.
went under the table.
We have a
Good for
bid
you,
of
Felix.
$175.
Well done. I'm out now.
So 175. Do we have a bid of 180? We have a bid of 175 from Felix Massey going once. 175 going twice. Last chance. 175 sold to Felix Massey.
All right, great job.
That's
Thank you,
awesome.
Susan. Thank you, Felix.
Absolutely. That's
One-
incredible. Thank you,
Wonderful.
Felix.
Thank you, guys. That's great. That money
One
is
bottle and
well
52 straws.
going to go in to do some great projects with our local community. All right, thank you very much, Susan, for that. Let's go to Paul Dryman for Happy Dollars.
Okay, I figured what I would do with this is, because there's 3 different screens, it's really hard to see who's raising their hand. So if you would kindly go to the bottom of your screen and do the chat and let me know that you would like to do a happy dollar and tell me how much and what your happy dollar is.
Don't do the chat.
Jeff Bornstein looks like he has his hand up.
Yes,
Right, Mr. Jeff.
$20 because for Barbara Massey, who snuck in back there, and the bottle of wine is actually for her. So
She didn't even kick me under the table.
I see Trevor's hand up, Paul.
I have 5 happy dollars that my couches that are stacked up next to my car did not fall over in the earthquake this morning. Earthquakes.
All right, how much was that?
That is 5.
5. Okay. So no one's using the chat, so I can't see the hands coming up. There we go. Got Nate.
I see Nate. Nate has his hand up,
Yep.
Paul.
Yep, I just called on him.
Okay, I have 48 happy dollars. Shirley and I
Oh.
just celebrated our 48th anniversary last night.
Oh,
Congratulations.
yay.
That's great.
It was interesting being isolated here at University Village.
Well, oh, I could do so much with that comment. I'm just going to keep my mouth shut.
Right. Who else would like to do a happy announcement?
All right. Thank you very much, Paul, for doing Happy Dollars.
Thank you.
I'd like to turn it over to Jason to introduce our speaker for today. So Jason, I'm going to turn it over to you. You can unmute.
All right. Can everyone hear me? Today, we've actually got a pretty special speaker. We've got our own Dr. Victor Hayek, who is the Deputy Superintendent for the Conejo Valley Unified School District. He's going to let us know a little bit how they're going to be handling COVID. He oversees all district finance and operations for 18,000 plus students and over 2,200 staff across 27 schools. Prior to coming to the Conejo Valley, Dr. Hayek relocated from New Jersey, where he served as superintendent of schools for 2 high-performing school districts. Victor additionally served his community as a police officer and was subsequently elected to the local board of education, where he also served as the president. He's taught college courses for 11 years, focusing on business management, operations, and finance. He holds a doctorate from Seton Hall University and both an MBA in finance and Bachelor of Science in Business Management from William Patterson University. And most recently, he has authored his first book, Outclass: How to Ace the Lessons of Life and Graduate with Honors. And now, without any further ado, Dr. Victor Hayek.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate that. And it's great to see everybody. And it's really great to hear and see the optimism in everybody's voice in our communications here. This is a tough time for everybody, I'm sure, not just us in the school district. I'll just say, mention, so I have this on the top of all my director's agendas now. It's a quote by Simon Sinek. If any of you know who he is, he's an author and speaks a lot about motivation. His quote is, optimism is not a denial of the current. I think one of the things that sometimes we endure is people have mixed opinions about what is going on and how things should be handled. And I'll just say that we try to remain as optimistic as possible here in the school district as we try and weather the current pandemic, and how to best continue the delivery of education to all of our students in the community. And we recognize full well that what we do and the decisions we make, really affect so many different households. In addition to education, we have childcare programs, we have adult ed programs, and a lot of this is going to affect people's ability to go back to work and in what capacity they go back to work if their children are not in school live. I'll talk about where we are today, but I just want to give a little bit of a story of how we got here and really go over the roller coaster ride that we've had. I would say January pretty much is when at the time in January, we were looking at a pretty positive economic forecast here for the school district. We put our budget together starting in February, March, and April, and then we bring it to the Board of Education in June for formal adoption. And when we did our first draft of the budget in February, we had a pretty positive outlook. Things were looking pretty well. The district does operate with a budget deficit. That's due to ongoing years of being short funded and the ups and downs of school district funding. And I'll talk a little bit about that today. So when we put that budget together, and then March 13th came, and then all of a sudden everything went out the window. We ended up closing schools without any idea of how long it's going to be or when we're going to reopen and when kids are going to be back. So we were kind of in a tough position of trying to manage as best as possible without knowing what the future outcome is going to be, which ironically is exactly where we still are today, somewhat. One of the things we really tried to do early on is really gauge get contact with all of our families and our students. And this is a snapshot. This is going back to, if you think of, we shut schools down, we announced it on Friday, March 13th. And then by April 9th, we had, out of the 18,300 plus students that we have in our district, we made no contact and contact without engagement for only 251 students, which was pretty good. By May 4th, that total dropped down to 56, and then May 8th, 11 students. So I think we did pretty good in reaching out and establishing contact with our students. We did the best we can to deliver in a moment's notice, something that we're not built for, which is remote education. And there's some pros and cons and some criticisms and some accolades in how we handled what we handled, but we really tried to put ourselves in a position quickly in order to continue delivery of some type of remote education. One of the things we do as a school district, you may or may not know, is 27% of our overall student population qualifies for free reduced meals. So we felt that we had an obligation to somehow, with schools closed, continue to deliver meals to students that needed them. So what we did was we set up a mobile delivery service for delivering breakfast and lunches to students. We did follow all safety protocols. As you can see here, we set up lines at our campuses. We made sure everything was disinfected and sanitized. We started out with an assessment of the number of students, where we're going to distribute, what kind of equipment we need, and the staff that was required to be able to pull this off. So we put our menus together, we scheduled staff, and We do have a central kitchen where we prepare all these meals. So we set up an assembly line at a central kitchen to put together breakfast and lunch in grab-and-go bags that we'd be able to distribute out through our community. And initially, we were giving them out to only our students and students who qualified, but over a couple of weeks, we started handing them out to any student that or any child that came to any of our pickup locations that we had throughout the city. So when we announced on March 12th, we have 2 schools here that are considered Title I schools, meaning that they have the highest level of students that are impacted socioeconomically. But what we did was we applied to the California Department of Education for a waiver to be able to provide meals at more than just those 2 schools. So we started at 8 mobile sites, and the California Department of Ed and the Federal Agriculture Department approved our request within 1 hour, and we set that up pretty quickly. So we notified our child nutrition staff. We started to prepare and distribute the meals. We created a rotating schedule because we're thinking about our students, but we're also thinking about our staff working in a safe environment as well. And so we created an opportunity for them to rotate their shifts. Some of our staff work 2 days, some work 3 days, but throughout the course and still to this day, we've allowed them to rotate and be flexible with schedules, keeping in mind that a number of our staff have their own children at home and other maybe older loved ones that they have to take care of. So this is this is just an example, some of the meals that we handed out. They always include a sandwich, a milk, fruit and or vegetables, and a bag of chips. Everything is in compliance with the national school regulations. And we set up these drive-through pickups at our schools. Again, we had, nobody got out of their cars. We handed them out through the windows. Our staff, always had gloves and masks on. And we didn't check IDs. We didn't ask people for residency requirements. If somebody came looking and they needed meals, we handed them out. This is some of our staff, and you could see how, we were putting stuff together. We started work at 6 a.m. in the morning every day. We still do to this day, putting together 2 meals in every bag, which is a lunch for today and then a breakfast for the following morning. So we started out with 8 locations. We expanded that out to over 12 locations. You can see here all the places. In addition to our school sites, we went to a lot of the apartment complexes in Thousand Oaks, and we distributed meals at each of those locations as well. Now, the next phase of what we had to do was, in order to continue education, we have a number of students that don't have access to technology devices. So we in the district had over 10,000 Chromebooks. Chromebooks are the small laptop computers that are based off of a Google platform that many of our students use in our schools. We took a complete inventory. We collected all the as many devices as we could in a short period of time from all of our campuses. And then we created a loaner program, and we started to deploy the technology devices starting on March 16th, which was the first day that we were closed. So our plan was to have about 4,200 Chromebooks ready by that first day. We were able to have just under 6,000 devices ready for the first week of distribution. And we worked probably through, I'm gonna say 18 to 20 hours over the weekend before to ensure that we were ready Monday morning to put Chromebooks in the hands of our students. Again, everybody followed the social distancing and wearing the masks and gloves protocols. You could see on the picture here on the bottom, this is how we have our Chromebooks. They're all in carts that sit at our schools. And it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to disassemble each cart because of the way the wirings are put on, because these are all charging stations as well. So we collected as much as we could. We put them in our trucks and vans that we had, brought them to one central location at one location at each school. And then we started to take them apart. We cleaned and sanitized each of the Chromebooks, and we got them ready for distribution. So in the first week, we distributed just under 3,000 Chromebooks across 25 of our school sites. So we had our librarians and our media technicians help us. And so to date, we've checked out just over 4,000 Chromebooks, most of them being given out in the first week that we did. So we also have a number of hotspots that we handed out to families. Tech access to internet is still a challenge for a lot of families in our community. So we went out and we purchased 1,000 hotspots from Verizon, and we programmed those hotspots. The school is absorbing the cost of the charges for data on those hotspots, and any student or family that didn't have access to the internet, we issued them a hotspot so in order for them to be able to access the internet. Again, the same as like we did with child nutrition, we deployed the devices in a structured format following social distancing and personal protective gear for our staff. Everything was clean, sanitized, and we handed stuff out through a drive-through type of distribution. Now, once we handed them out, we knew right away we were gonna have a responsibility to support those devices and help students when they're at home, and even parents with technology, whether they be hardware or software issues. So we set up a virtual help desk system. So students and parents can go in and put in a help desk ticket. We set up a call hotline with 3 different phone numbers where parents or students can call in for support. And we also set up a chat system where if they were online already, but they were having some issues with software, they'd be able to chat with one of our site technicians in order to get support. And we have this still ongoing to this day to help our students. So I talked a little bit about internet access. Initially we had about 133 families that were in need of internet access when schools closed. 65 of those families we were able to connect with Spectrum. Spectrum had an initial, I don't want to say a promotion, but a response to COVID-19 where they gave 60 days of free internet access to families who needed them. So we connected our families with Spectrum and had them enroll in that free 60 days. We followed up thereafter, and any families who couldn't continue the payments after the 60 days, we issued them hotspots. And we make connections with as many of our families as possible. And we still, on an as-needed basis, we have our distribution channel still open for any student who needs either a device or a hotspot for internet. One of the things we thought about too is for families that maybe didn't want to pick up a hotspot or didn't want that responsibility, or for whatever reason, we went out to all of our school sites and we did our Wi-Fi, did a Wi-Fi study outside in our parking lots, and because we had some folks actually ask for this. And so we went out and we identified the areas in our parking lots at the schools that access the district's Wi-Fi network without being on campus. So what we did was we went and we painted these logos at any of the parking spots that had reliable access off of the district's wireless access points that were installed in the schools. Operationally, we've been following all the recommendations from the county, from CDC, from our own Ventura County School Self-Funding Authority. We created a COVID-19 supply list for all of our school sites. Disinfectant, wipe, gloves, face masks, hand sanitizers. Cal OES, through the County Office of Education, supplied schools with a 90-day supply of personal protective gear, which were masks for adults and students, some hand sanitizers, some face shields, and some gloves. So that was enough to get us started. And we stocked all that in our central warehouse, and we put them in our warehouse catalog for school sites to be able to order as they needed when we reach the point of opening schools. On the maintenance side, if you look on the bottom right of this slide here, this is it says protects a disinfecting system. So this is an electrostatic sprayer that gives us the ability to spray down and disinfect the classroom in just about 5 minutes. So the solution that we use in this system here is sprayed throughout the classrooms in all high-touch surfaces. It takes only a few minutes, but then we let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then it is acceptable from the CDC as a treatment for coronavirus to kill that virus. So that piece of equipment is really pivotal in us in looking at our ability to open school in order to be able to do the disinfecting between classes or between cohorts. We also ordered some countertop screens for our offices to give additional protection for staff that are interacting with public and parents who come in for registration or paperwork or other types of activities that they have to come into our school sites. And we're following all the same safety protocols as I'm sure everybody else is. One of the things here is that we're doing on the ventilation side, we've ordered all high-grade filters. We're replacing all of the filters in our HVAC systems, and we've set up regular replacements of those filters to ensure that there's proper air circulation to all of our classrooms. California law states that we have to have a flow of fresh air in our classrooms at all times when students are there. So in addition to heat and air condition, regular outside fresh air is piped in and out of the classrooms all day when students are on campus. We also set up training for each of our employees. We set up online training modules, figured that that's the most efficient way to do it. We've had all of our maintenance and operational staff completed that training, and we're moving forward with our instructional staff and other staff that's on campus to complete that training before such time comes as where we start the school. Now, meanwhile, from January, what happened is, as we all know, the economy really took a turn in January. The governor proposed, this is our timeline that we work for our budget for the school district. In January, the governor proposes his initial budget, and then we start to put our budget together in February through April. In March, we reported a favorable outlook from our finances. We hadn't made the decision yet to close down, and the virus wasn't impacting the state as much as it is now. On March 13th, we initiated the shutdown of schools. And then in May, by the time the governor came and revised his budget forecast for the following year, we went from, in a matter of 3 or 4 months of having a positive economic outlook to looking at a scenario where we were losing just over $14 million of funding in 1 year out of $160 million a year that we get funding from the state. So it left us just about 9 days to look at ways to cut $14 million before we had to present our budget to the board in June. The board acted quickly, and we pushed that timeline forward. Our last day to actually present and adopt the budget is June 30th. So the board set up a public board meeting every Tuesday in June in order for us to get as much information as possible and give us as much information as possible to really work through the pandemic. This is just a slide of the state's general fund revenues. The state's, what you see in the green line is where we were in January, and then where the revised budget expectations came out in May. The state gets its revenue sources from what's called the big three, which are personal income tax, sales and use tax, and then corporate tax. So you can see we were looking at a pretty positive forecast in the green line in January, and then where we are now in May, and what the proposed budget is for the following year really put us in a difficult situation. And the reason that is because 88% of the district's revenue is received from the state. So we're heavily impacted by the economics of the state, because as you see, 71% of the revenue that the state collects is from those big three sources. And the school funding proposition is called Prop 98. It guarantees a percentage of those revenues for education. So as those, you can do the math, as the revenues increase, then we would theoretically get more money. So as revenues decrease, we would take a hit in money. And this is the exact situation that we are in, since the state revenue took a hit, so that it would trickle down to how much funding that the state would give schools. You hear the acronym LCFF, which is our local control funding formula. That's the total amount of state aid, state dollars that we get to fund schools in in the Conejo Valley here. And it's broken up in a number of different pots. The first one is the base grant. So our base grant was about 156 million. And then we get a grade span adjustment. The grade span adjustment is for maintaining smaller class sizes in grades kindergarten through grade 2. And then we also get a grade span adjustment for our high school students for career technical education. And then the next piece of that is about 8.5 million. That's our supplemental grant. Our supplemental grant is for what's termed as unduplicated pupil count. And that involves our English learners, low income, foster youth, and our homeless students, which I noted earlier is about 27% of our overall student population. And then there's an additional small portion for home to school transportation, and then some targeted instructional improvements. So this is the overall total of how our breakdown of the dollars that we get from the state that go to education. If you look at the column here for 2019-20 second interim, that was based upon the governor's January budget proposal. We were looking at $193 million in total revenue. And then by the time May came around, that dropped down to about 178 million. So we were looking at making an adjustment of, again, $15.5 million in a short period of time from where we were just months ago. As you can imagine, it's extremely difficult to cut $15 million in a budget when 83% of our expenses are all related to staffing. So on the left pie here, you can see we have certificated staff, classified staff, and our benefit costs related to staffing totals 83% of 83 cents of every dollar that we spend. On the right side, the LCFF, which is the state dollars that we get, represent 82%, 82 cents of every dollar that we receive. So we knew if we were in a position to have to cut $15 million, it required significant staffing cuts that we would have to do, which would directly impact the programs, class size, and other things that we really cherish here for our kids. So in a short period of time, we looked at, and I'll go through these quickly, we looked at a number of different scenarios of how to cut. We looked at making cuts over a period of time, 7 million, 12 million, 6 million over 3 years. Then we looked at trying to even them out at 8.5 each year. Then we looked at what if we cut the most up front and then it would minimize later on. So we went through a multitude of different scenarios on how to work within the budget cuts that we had. And then in the end, what happened was the governor and the legislature came to an agreement where they funded us at the same level as they did the prior year, eliminating the necessity for us to cut $15 million. But how they did it was through what they termed as deferrals. So meaning that they're telling us they're giving us the money in February, March, April, May, and June of 2021, but we're not actually getting the cash until the following year. So those of us that own businesses and know and even manage our finances at home, we could put down on paper that we're getting $10, but until we get that $10 cash, we can't use it. So that put the district in a position to have to borrow money. So if the deferrals hold and there is no additional federal stimulus dollars, the district will have to go out for a short-term loan of somewhere between $20 and $25 million. On a positive note, they did allocate some stimulus funds to the school district that we are using for lost learning. And what we're trying to do is help work with our teachers to provide them the appropriate development that they need to ensure that we're addressing the lost learning that our students have experienced since the closure, and to help us assist getting school open in the next few months, hopefully.
Victor, I'm going to have to interrupt you. This is a great presentation. We're running a little short on time, so I'm going to recommend that if people have questions, if Victor, do you have will you be able to stay on maybe a couple extra minutes past our meeting time to answer any questions? That would be fantastic. So we will keep the Zoom meeting open for any questions afterwards. But I know some of you have to get off. We're getting close to our end time. Victor, I want to thank you for a really great presentation. This was very enlightening on what's going on in our local school district. We will normally have you sign a book that would go to one of our Title I schools, but since you're not with us live, we will sign your name, put your name in a book that will go to a Title I school that we do for every speaker as a small thank you for taking all your time and putting all your effort into being here today. And it's great seeing you back at our club. So welcome and thank you for that. I want to thank our Carol Freeman for announcing our guests, for Paul Dryman doing Happy Dollars, Patricia Jones taking notes, for the inspiration and pledge. I want to thank Heather, fine session, KT, great auction by Susan, great money, good job. And our fun time manager, Mr. Pat McCoy and Vanna, thank you for all of your efforts. So just a reminder as we close off today, just when the caterpillar thought that the world was ending, he turned into a butterfly. So let's go forth, Rotarians. Let's change the world. And that's all there is for this July 30th, 2020. Stay on the line for some additional questions to Victor if you want to do that. All right, so we have anybody that has a question for Victor?
I do. This is Chris.
All right, Chris, go ahead.
Victor, maybe you covered it and I was spaced out. I don't know, but I know that I guess the schools are going to start remotely again, right, in the fall. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the latest direction that we've received is that because the county is still on the watch list, we have to open up in a remote setting. So the trigger to change that is the county has to be 14 days in a decline of reported cases or just some measure that the county uses. So we're not there yet. Now we're still a good 3 weeks away from the opening of school. So we're preparing for two scenarios. We're preparing to be remote, which is where we are today. But should the 14-day window change between now and the start of school, we're ready to pivot and implement a phased-in entry approach where we do have students on campus.
Okay, so, but it wouldn't be like all the kids all at the same time? Would it be kind of phased as far as like a combination, or how are you going to do that? Just full on open?
Yeah, so let me show you this quickly. So this is a sample middle school schedule. So what we essentially did was, in order to comply with social distancing,
right.
And the students and staff will have to follow the guidelines of wearing masks and such, but we split the schools into two cohorts. So there'll be half-day sessions. So we're going to have half the school come in cohort A and half the school come in cohort B. So what that means is you're going to have, let's say, I'll say Los Cerritos Middle School has 1,000 students. So we have 500 students on campus in the morning. Then we have a 90-minute break where we clean and sanitize. Then we have the other 500 students come in the afternoon for the same classes. And then we would repeat that every day. So it's a half of a day at school phased in until we get to a point that we're able to accommodate every student within, whether there be a vaccine or they relax the social distancing guidelines.
Wow. That's just amazing. I'm glad I don't have little kids in school anymore. That's all I got to say.
We did the same thing at the high school here. You can see similar type of schedule, cohort A and cohort B. And we did the same thing in the elementaries, same thing. And we structured the time. You know, one of the things we really tried to do was to handle the social emotional welfare of students. So we did allocate time in each of our schedules to be able to do that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Victor, I have a question from Adam Antoniscus. He was asking if you don't start in the start time in a couple of weeks, after Ventura County gets off the state watch list and public-private schools are allowed to reopen, how long would it take you to get kids back in the classroom?
We're prepared to pivot pretty quickly, probably within a couple of days. So we've been preparing for this split A-B type of schedule and with students in the cohorts. So we're prepared to move on that today if we had to. We're going to go to remote, but we would have to look at the time. You know, if we're close to the end of the first marking period, then, you know, we may want to wait a week and just close out that first marking period, then open up live at the second, just depending on where we are in the year. But we are ready to pivot relatively quickly.
Great. Bob, you have a
Thanks, Victor.
question.
Hey, quick follow-up to that one. So you're phasing in and you're doing, so for instance, elementary, kindergarten through third will be the first tranche that goes back. How long after that will the fourth and fifth graders, will it be before they get to go back?
It would be, so the phased in is not by grade level. The phase in is everyone K-12 goes back for half of a day. Then the next phase, we increase how much time that they spend on campus. So let me show you our phases quickly. So it's a matter of trying to get as many students back on campus at the same time as much as possible. So here's a illustration of what our phases look like. So in phase one, where we are right now, so it's essential services only. We're doing 100% remote learning. And then phase two, we do the soft opening where we're doing the AM/PM cohorts. And then phase three, we increase the number of time in campus. And then phase four, essentially we go back to traditional where everybody is on campus as normal. But throughout the whole process, we are giving parents the option that if they don't feel it's safe or they don't want their children going back, we do have options for parents to stay in 100% remote learning all year, whether we're in phase 1, 2, 3, or 4. And we have options for hybrid as well throughout the whole year at the same time also.
Victor, this is Nate. So the teachers stay in the room and get the half the class in the morning and half the class in the afternoon?
Yeah, that would be the idea.
Okay.
So the teachers would be there. They would get, so if I'm an elementary fourth grade teacher, I have, let's say 25 kids. I have 12 of my kids come in the morning. Then there's 90 minutes where I go to lunch and do some prep and come out of my classroom. We would go in and we would clean and sanitize. And then at 12:30, my next group of 13 kids would come in the afternoon. Okay. So the kids are still able to socially commingle, but on a limited basis. Got it.
Thank you.
Bob, you had a question.
Yeah, Victor, I'm concerned about, particularly among the younger children, a generation of really being permanently behind, losing education. I can relate to high school kids doing distance learning. There's going to be some that are going to flake off or their parents don't give a hoot, but I can relate to that. I can kind of relate to middle school, maybe, but you come down to first, second, third, maybe even fourth graders, they're not going to sit in front of a computer that long. The kids can't do it. And they're not trying to teach somebody to read or math in off distance is just not realistic. So when we can get the kids back, I mean, I know we can't right now. How are we going to catch them up other than adding a year to their school schedule?
Yeah, I think we all agree with you, and I certainly agree with you as a parent. I have 3 children. I have one in elementary, one in middle, and one in high school.
And I've got a grandchild that's in first, just leaving first grade. He lost the whole last half of his year, and second grade. I mean, he's not learning anything.
Yeah. So as we prepare now for the beginning of the school year, we've been having conversations with our teachers about, the re-entry into school and using the first few weeks of school to really, not so much remediate, but they have to, one, ensure the social, emotional well-being of the students. There needs to be that conversation to get them back to, being comfortable in school again, and then having them talk out loud about some of their experiences and share their experiences. And then there's going to have to be a spiraling of the curriculum that essentially was missed at the end of last year to how we're going to integrate that into this year's curriculum and spiral it in together. So, there are no easy answers, and we'd stop short of guaranteeing anything. This is not an ideal situation, but we are planning on looking at our pacing guides for each of our classes. So if you're going from third grade to fourth grade, there's going to be some stuff in the fourth grade that we're not going to cover because we're going to have to cover some of the stuff that was missed in third grade. But our teachers are, and we're working with them on, is really to take some of those building blocks that are necessary in third grade that you need in fourth grade, and to weave them into those fourth grade lessons as they go along, rather than just assume, all right, the kids know how to do long division, so we're going to pick up here, you know, with a higher level of long division. No, they're going to start at the lower level of long division and then build up gradually to ensure that the students are understanding. One of the benefits that, you know, in doing the soft opening with the cohorts is, you know, a teacher has the ability to focus a little bit more on the students, because instead of having 25 students in the class, you may have only 10 or 12. And you may have even less, because some families have already opted out for remote learning or a hybrid where they don't want to send their kids to school. So the complete remote is challenging, and I agree with you. My 7-year-old won't sit in front of the screen for more than 10 minutes before he loses interest. So, you know, that is something that we're really trying to work through. And, you know, we don't have all the answers yet right now, but we're doing our best to put things in place to try to ensure that students are engaged. Even if it means we're calling students at home, talking to parents, providing support from 3 o'clock till 8 o'clock at night, providing things outside of that regular time, and being live as much as we can in person, more so than just, you know, here's a website, go do this, you know, these pieces of math or English or whatever it is. Where our expectation is that teachers are live during the time where the students are in front of the screen, so they will be able to converse and have a conversation with the teachers and with the other students in the class.
Thank you, Victor. Do we have just a final question before we let Victor go? Who do I have? Oh, yes, Felix, go ahead.
The question that comes to my mind, since nothing is normal anymore, what happens with these parents that have a different work schedule now and the kids have a different school schedule? How do you put those together?
Yeah, that is a challenge for everybody. And I don't know if who you may or may not know, but you know, we have our own childcare program that we operate in Conejo Valley, and we've been having overwhelming demand for childcare, even in the remote setting. If we don't open and the kids are 100% out of school, we are planning to offer childcare during the day from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. to help families and parents. So we do have some overwhelming demand on that, and we're gonna have to wait and see when the schedules are finalized. But we are in a position to accommodate working families to provide childcare services during the day. We're just waiting for clearance from the county health department for us to be able to do that.
How's that going to work with parents that are on the low level as far as income is concerned, and yet are on a lower level because they're only going to work part-time?
Yeah, we do have at 2 of our elementary schools, we have state-run preschools, and we have state-run programs as well. So any families that struggle socioeconomically, there are some avenues out there that are available to them. And also there are other third-party organizations that are providing childcare services and do it on a scholarship basis based on need as well.
Thank you, Victor.
Great. Thank you, Victor. That was a
Thank
great
you, Victor.
presentation. And
Really good.
you know, if there's ways that our club can partner with you as what you're doing, why please talk to us about that. As a club member, we'd love to also partner with you and what you're doing, because it's a big task. It's pretty clear you've got an overwhelming job right now, and greatly appreciated of all the things that you are doing in our community to make a difference and to get kids back to school. So appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. And thanks everybody for being on. We will see you soon at a coffee or a social hour or next Thursday.
Thank
So
you.
everybody have a great week.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.